Welcome everyone to today's yoga practice. We are going to move through quite a strong flow, and the invitation for today's practice is really to be pedantic about your alignment. So we're not going to rush through it. We're going to take our time in each posture, and with that, giving ourselves an opportunity to focus on the alignment and also build that endurance capacity through holding postures for maybe a little bit longer than we might be comfortable. It's not going to be all of them, but there will be certain parts where we'll hold the postures and then focus on cueing the alignment, which may be helpful, which you might already be doing in your practice. And then just another reminder that I'm here to guide you, but you are your ultimate guide in general. So please listen to your body. And if you need to take a break at any point, there's always child's pose that you can return to, or maybe there's a different pose that helps you to just release any tension, whether it's energetic or mental. Otherwise, I hope that you really enjoy this practice, and I'm excited to share with you. Now, just one more note before we get started. We are going to be using a strap, definitely. So if you have a strap, I ask you to please bring that with to the practice now. If you do not have a strap, you can use a scarf as well. Anything that's got a little bit of length. We're just going to be doing some shoulder rotations, and then as well as opening through the back seam of the legs. And then the block is not an absolute must. We will be using it for a upper body strengthening posture or exercise, and it is possible to do without the block. So the block is always helpful. These tools, props, really helpful. So if you do intend on practicing yoga or Pilates or any sort of mindful movement in future, it could be helpful to bring these along and see how they can aid you in your practice. Okay, awesome. So let's get started. We are going to get started in child's pose. So as you arrive on your mat, bring your big toes to connect. Widen your knees so that you create space between the inner thighs, and then just go ahead and start nestling your torso in between your thighs to finally rest your forehead down onto the mat. For these first few moments, your elbows can be soft, the fingers are soft, and the whole body just rests here. We're really just using this to arrive on our mat and in our practice. And sometimes that can take a few moments, especially if there's already a lot that's happened throughout your day or a lot that's still to come. The mind likes to obsess on all these details, so doesn't matter. I invite you to just arrive here as you are and take a few moments to leave all of the distraction behind, all of the to-dos, and bring all of that focus to the quality of your breath. Your breath is a direct link to your presence. So anytime you check in and notice, oh, my breath is quite shallow and fast-paced, then it also means that we probably got stuck in our heads, so we got stuck in the to-dos, and it's a reminder to return back to the present moment in which we are free from all these worldly and material ties and can find some stillness within the safety of our own being. And as you move deep into your breath, can you allow that breath to expand out into the ribcage? So use that visual of an accordion. As you inhale, the accordion draws long as the riblets expand. And then on an exhale, everything draws back into that midline. If it so resonates with you, I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. And then just a couple more breaths here to hold that intention in heart, mind, body, and soul. And committing to weaving this into your practice.
And remembering that the practice doesn't stop once we leave the mat. We come to our mat to train our bodies, our mind, and our breath, and then we take these tools into our daily lives off the mat. And that's really where the practice begins, because it's so easy to forget. Take one more expansive breath here. And then start to activate through the arm bones. So you're lifting the elbows off the mat and connect the inner wrists to the mat. So you'll see your fingertips slightly lift here. They can still be soft, but the arm bones are straight, inner wrist connected. And now as you inhale, root the inner wrist down and lift the gaze up towards the fingers as you lift fingers up to sky and the heart draws forward. Stretch the fingers nice and wide. So we're getting into the fascia of the hands. And then exhale to release, soften the fingers down. Inhale to lift the fingers, lift the heart and the gaze. Feel like the shoulder blades are drawing down the spine and the heart reaches forward. Exhale, release. One more like that. Deep breath in, rooting down through inner wrists, fingers spread wide and long. Heart lengthens forward. And exhale to soften. Inhale, rock up and forward into your 4-point base. Stack the knees as wide as your hips, your hands below your shoulders. And then feel for just very subtly gripping the mat with your fingertips. Notice how that means that your knuckles lift and that supports the weight on the wrists. Keep that activation through the hands. We're just gently going to draw clockwise circles with our heart over both wrist bones. And it's really up to you how big you want to draw these circles, depending on how open your wrists feel. But this is just to warm up these delicate little bones and joints as we move into some weight bearing on the hands. And just general mobility through the wrist, or the wrists in general. Moving into the anti-clockwise direction. Take a couple of rounds here. Notice that you don't want to drop the head down. So my mom always likes to refer to a headrest. Imagine that headrest is back behind you, even though it's not supporting the weight of your head. Awesome. Okay, we'll find some stillness in your tabletop posture. And then on an inhale breath, curl all 10 toes under, lift your heart, raise the gaze. Exhale, untuck all 10 toes, navel to spine, chin to chest. Move through cat-cow here. Inhale, tuck all 10 toes, lifting from lower belly up to the heart and the gaze. Exhale, untuck all 10 toes, navel to spine. Push the earth away with your hands. Inhale to open the frontal body. Exhale, release, back body expands. 3 more like that. Inhale to open. Exhale, navel to spine, chin to chest. Inhale to open, expand and lengthen heart forward. Exhale, navel to spine, chin to chest. 1 more like that, still gripping the mat with the fingertips. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, untuck the toes, navel to spine, chin to chest. Inhale again, tuck the toes under, and then use that to lift all the way up to downward facing dog. So for this first down dog, keep your knees bent as you start to send the sitting bones back and up. And then just notice here in our down dog, we want to keep the primary focus on extension through the spinal column. So if you start to extend your legs from here and the upper back starts rounding, then just stay mindful of that and notice at which point did I keep my spine nice and long and elongated. Can I return to that space? And then slowly with my practice, I work on opening through the back seams of the legs, the hamstrings, and the lower back. So find your down dog, and then take a few moments, moving either through one foot, then the other, or maybe holding in stillness. That's up to you here. Can you be pedantic about the alignment of your hands? So drawing your index finger and thumb in an L shape towards the top of the mat. The wrists are in line with the upper creases of the mat. And then the shoulders The upper inner shoulders wrap out and away from the ears. Expand across your upper back. Finding some stillness in your down dog. Step both feet in about half a foot length closer. And then start by connecting your right hand to the outer left ankle. And as you connect that hand to ankle, take an inhale as you lift the left armpit and exhale to twist, maybe gazing up to the sky. Nice and active left arm rooting down into the mat, and then the sitting bones draw wide back behind. Maybe your variation is with the knees bent. That's absolutely fine. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing here. Slow, steady breath. Exhale to release. Right hand down to the mat. Opposite side. Connect left hand to outer right ankle. And then on an inhale, peel that right armpit open as you gaze underneath right armpit up to the sky. That left hand, you can really use that to engage against the leg here to find that twist through the torso. Right fingertips actively rooted into the mat. Sitting bones still lifting high and spreading wide. And exhale to release. Inhale, lift the gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, slowly walk your feet to meet your hands in Uttanasana, forward fold. For this first round, bend your knees so much that you can rest your belly on your thighs, and then just allow your torso to hang over your thighs. The arms are soft, the fingers soft. The weight of the skull completely released here. Maybe you notice the sensation through both soles of the feet as you shift the weight a little bit more from right to left, and then from left to right. And then ease back to center. Inhale, it's a halfway lift. Extend through the spine as your hands connect to your shin bones. The knees stay bent as much as you need to create that spinal extension. So you don't want to round through the back. You want to extend sitting bones back behind, heart lifts forward. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Navel draws in, shoulders draw away from the ears. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Last one, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take a deep breath to expand outwards into the rib cage in your forward fold. And then exhale, root down through the feet, draw navel to spine, and slowly through a spiral up. Unravel one vertebrae at a time to come all the way up to standing Tadasana. Once you get to the top, a nice big shoulder loop up and back. Let's take 2 rounds of those. Another one, deep breath in. And exhale, release. Moving dynamically with the breath. On an inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Now exhale, split the arms. Your right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back behind, but then the hips are counter twisting. So even though the torso twists towards the left, can you draw the hips over to the right hand side? Inhale, high mountain, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the right, left arm forward, right arm back. Hips counter twist to the left. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend the knees, draw navel to spine, and imagine you're hugging a big ball in front of your chest as you round through the back body, chin to chest. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, bend the elbows, cactus the arms as you lift your heart up, and then keep mounting the arms down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the left, right arm forward, left arm back, hips counter twist to the right. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, twist to the right, left arm forward, right arm back, hips counter twist to the left. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, soft knees, navel to spine, hug that big ball in front of the chest. Inhale, high mountain, come all the way up to standing. Bend the elbows, draw shoulder blades down the spine and lift the heart. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Counter twist, hips to the right. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, twist to the right. Hips counter twist to the left. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, soft knees, hug the ball, navel to spine, chin to chest. Inhale, Tadasana, arms reach up, high mountain. Exhale, bend the elbows, draw shoulder blades down, the spine is a lift as the heart lifts. And inhale, all the way up, high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment here, feel the texture of your hands as they connect in front of your heart space. And then just gaze down at your feet. We're going to move into Utkatasana next. So bring a slight bit of distance between the heels of both feet, but then the big toes almost come to connect. The outer blades of the feet in line with the mat. On an inhale breath, send the sitting bones back and down, Utkatasana. Now in your Utkatasana, notice that it's very easy to arch to the back. So I invite you to lift up through the pubic bone, your pelvic floor, lengthen through the tailbone. Make sure you can see your toes as you shift sitting bones back behind. And then lift your heart from here. Arms reach long, navel draws in and up. Sink a little bit lower. Now shift all that weight into your left foot. Inhale, hug the right knee in and up as you straighten through the left knee and leg. Interlace your hands onto that right shin bone. Give a nice burn squeeze as you reach taller through the crown of the head. Exhale, that right knee releases in line with the right hip. Connect left hand to outer right thigh. Right hand to the base of the spine. Take an inhale here to find a little bit more length through the spinal column. And then exhale to twist as you resist hand against thigh, thigh against hand. The collarbone spread wide and lengthen away from the chest. Crown of the head still reaches tall. Take one more round of breath here. Soften through the shoulders. Inhale, come back to center. Keep that right leg lifted. And then find figure of 4 as you bring the right outer ankle onto the top of the left thigh. Start to sink low into that left leg. Hands connect in front of the heart. So that right foot is active. That really helps us get into a rotation through that right hip flexor. And if you'd like to, you can connect left hand to the outer blade of right foot. And then with your right hand, start to gently draw the inner right thigh up and out to accentuate that external rotation through the right hip and thigh. And then find the hands connected again in front of the heart. Still reaching the heart, lengthening through spine. Right foot active. Nice deep breath. Exhale to crisscross that right leg over the left thigh. And then move into a forward fold. And as you do this, you'll notice that your right knee is bent, but that back left leg is completely straight and active here. So you can bend that front right knee as much as you need, but make sure that both soles of the feet are grounded onto the mat. And then in your forward fold, start to walk your torso over to the right-hand side. And notice that the outer left hip lengthens away in opposite direction. So you're creating nice expansion through that left side body and especially that left outer seam of the leg. Your head still hangs heavy. Nice deep breath. Keep bending into that right leg as much as you need. The weight of the skull completely released. Then release back through center. Okay. We're going to keep the weight on that right foot and start to lift and extend left leg back behind. So you're going to be off center on your mat, but don't worry, we're going to rectify that in a moment. So think of a low flying warrior. Your fingertips will be connected to the earth. And that, if however much you need to bend that standing leg, go ahead and do that. Once your fingertips connect to the earth, can you lift and lengthen from lower belly up to heart? Keep that headrest connected to the back of the head and neck. On an exhale breath, bend that left knee and then round knee to forehead, forehead to knee. Inhale to extend left leg, spine and heart. Exhale to curl, knee towards forehead, forehead towards knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale, last one to curl, knee to forehead, forehead to knee. Keep that curl and now cross the left leg over the right to step to the center of your mat. Release the right leg back behind for low lunge. So it's a 90-degree angle through that front leg, fingertips still connected to the mat. And inhale here as you lift the belly off the front thigh, shine your heart forward. And then that right hand releases to the inner left foot. Inhale, the left arm circles back and up for an easy twist. Now really actively extend through that back right heel, the back right thigh. Feel like that back right hamstring wants to connect up towards the ceiling. One more round of breath here. Exhale, circle the left arm back and down. Inhale in your low lunge. And then exhale, straighten that front left leg. And as you do, step the back right foot in enough that you can ground down through both feet for Parsvottanasana. There's a slight micro bend in that front leg, so no locking of the knee joints. Inhale, it's a halfway lift here, soften through that front knee. And then exhale, forward fold. Parsvottanasana. So this might look different for many of us. Maybe you're holding onto your ankle. If you are holding onto the front of your leg, just be sure that you're not dunking the weight of the torso into the leg and putting extra pressure on that knee joint. Maybe your hands reach to wrap the back of your right thigh as you forward fold. Or maybe the arms are just reaching forward here to create more space and length through the spine. Can you feel grounded through both feet? And in this posture, in this shape, notice that the outer left hip draws back and the outer right hip draws forward. And just notice that that helps to square both hip bones to the front of the mat and bring some more equilibrium towards the whole pelvic floor and pelvic bowl. Inhale to lift the gaze, soften to that front leg. It's a standing split. Right hand to the top right corner of your mat. Left hand wraps around the left calf and Achilles tendon and heel. And then start to lift and lengthen through that right leg. You can really allow this right hand to support you by pushing firmly into the earth as you lift the right thigh and fold over left thigh with your torso. Notice you don't want to externally rotate through that hip. So instead of drawing the top right hip up to the sky, can you draw it down to the earth? And that means that that leg might not get as much height as it would through external rotation. Exhale to soften left knee, bend the right, keep the right leg lifted and come back up into one-legged Tadasana. If you are working on a soft surface, like I'm here with the carpet, it's even more of a challenge. Exhale, release both feet down, Tadasana. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Moving through a Chaturanga. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back to plank, Palakasana. Now through Chaturanga, you are always welcome to do the variation with the knees down through sort of a half push-up. Or moving through full plank, keeping the arms at a 90-degree angle as you lower down. And then inhale into upward dog or gentle cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a moment in down dog. Keep checking in with your alignment. Fingers spread wide. Upper shoulders wrap out and away from the ears. Inhale to lift the gaze up to the hands. Exhale, walk feet to meet hands, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, so preparing to lift up into chair, bring the big toes a little bit closer, heels a little bit wider. Inhale, Utkatasana. Again, just noticing that space you can create on your sacrum and your lower back by lifting up through the pelvic floor, shifting the sitting bones back enough that you can see your toes, and then from there lengthening and lifting through the heart. Sink a little bit lower, see if you can challenge your thighs. And then start to shift all that weight into the right foot. Inhale, hug the left knee in as you extend through right leg. Nice firm squeeze of that left thigh in and up. Exhale, release left knee in line with the hip. Bring right hand to outer left thigh. Right hand to the base of the spine. Take an inhale here, find some more length. And then exhale to twist. Resist hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Feel that expansion that's happening, especially in your chest area as the collarbones lengthen away from the center of the heart. The shoulders are soft. If you're finding it tricky to balance, then using that tool of a drishti, a focus point for your eyes and your gaze, to bring a little bit more stability and balance here. Inhale, come back through center. Left leg stays lifted. Find your figure of four as you cross outer left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Hands connect in front of heart. Sink down low into that right leg. And then maybe if you did on the opposite side, connecting right hand to the outer blade of the right foot. And then with that left hand, you're going to lift that left thigh up and out to accentuate that external rotation. Once you're done with that, hands again connect in front of the heart. That left foot is active. One more deep breath in. Exhale to crisscross left thigh over right. Find your forward fold as both soles of feet ground to the earth. Now your left knee is bent as much as you need to find full extension through that back right leg. The head hangs heavy. The complete weight of your torso released here. And then start to walk torso and arms over to the left-hand side and draw the outer right hip away from the right shoulder and armpit in opposite direction to create even more expansion and length along the right side body and the outer right seam of your leg. Still fully grounded through both feet. Still fully present with your breath. Weight of skull completely released here. Inhale, come back through center. Now again, you're off center on your mat, but root down through that left foot. The right leg reaches long and high for low flying warrior. Fingertips stay connected to the mat. Now again, you must bend that left knee as much as you need to find full extension in your low flying warrior. Most important is that that back leg, that right leg is actively reaching here. Then on an inhale, can you lift from the lower belly up to your heart, draw shoulder blades away from the ears. Exhale, curl the right knee towards the forehead, forehead towards me. Inhale to extend. Lift from low belly up to heart. Exhale to curl. Right knee towards forehead. Inhale to extend. Last one. Exhale. Curl the knee towards the forehead. Navel draws in and up. And now hug that right thigh even more to cross the right leg over the left. Step right foot to center of the mat. And the left leg releases back for a low lunge. Take an inhale here, lift the belly off the front thigh. And then exhale, left hand releases flat to the mat, right next to that inner right foot. And the right arm circles back and up for your easy twist. Now find that full extension through the left leg here. Just like we did on the previous side, that back left hamstring or group of hamstrings wants to connect up towards the ceiling as you lengthen through the left heel. Your collarbones still expanding here all the way from right fingertips down towards the left. Exhale, circle the right arm down to the mat. Inhale in your low lunge. Exhale, straighten the front right leg and then step the left leg in enough to ground through both feet. Inhale to soften into that front right knee. Move into a halfway lift. Exhale, Parsvottanasana. So again, just making sure that you're really grounded through both feet. And if you find the balance quite tricky in Parsvottanasana, notice that maybe you've placed the feet on one track, one exactly behind the other. Widen your stance a bit to give each foot its separate track. And then the torso can fold rather than over the top of the right thigh. It folds more towards the inner front thigh. Choose whichever arm variation you did on the opposite side. Mindful not to lock or dump weight into that right knee joint. And then bring all of that awareness to your hips. This time the outer right hip draws back. The outer left hip draws forward. And then a nice long spine to fold over that front leg. Slow, steady breath. Keep checking in. Have I lost the quality of my breath? Can I keep returning back? Next, inhale, soften into that front knee. And it's a standing split. So left hand to the top left corner of the mat. Your right arm wraps around the back of the right leg. And then find the balance on right leg as your left leg reaches up nice and high. Let the head hang heavy. Again, this time wrapping top of the left hip down to the mat rather than an external rotation. And on an exhale, bend that left knee, keep it lifted, one-legged Tadasana as you hug that left thigh in and up without the assist of your hands. The arms reach up. And exhale, Tadasana, both hands connect in front of the heart. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Take two more like that. Just pure focus on the breath. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one. Inhale, high mountain. This time, exhale, forward fold. Come all the way down to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Under Uttanasana. Exhale, step back to plank, Palakasana. Choose your variation of Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the gaze up to the hands. Exhale, walk your feet all the way through to come to a seated position. And just take shirt off. We're building some good heat here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely feeling it. And then from here, And lower all the way down onto your spine. Bring the hands to interlace at the base of the skull. So your thumbs release into the occipital ridges of either side of the neck. The hands really cup the base of the skull. And on an inhale breath, the legs reach up towards the sky. We're going to move through some core. There is a section of the core where we'll be lowering both legs down at the same time. I want you to be mindful of this because what's really important is that you keep the mid back and the lower back rooted down into the earth so that we're not straining through the lower back. If you feel at any point this is straining in your lower back, then you are welcome to bring the thumbs underneath the sort of where the little coccyx is, with the fingers drawing down towards your buttocks, almost like a diamond shape, and this should be able to help. Otherwise, you can leave it out completely if it doesn't feel good for you. Okay, so hands interlace, base of skull. Exhale breath to curl the shoulder blades off the mat. Draw the navel in and up. On an exhale, release the right leg down. Extend, lift left leg as right leg draws forward and down. Elbows reach up to the sky. Inhale to reach both legs up. Lift both sitting bones off the mat. Exhale, lower left leg forward and long right leg reaches up and back. Both feet active. Inhale, both legs reach up, sitting bones lift up off the mat. And then exhale, draw the navel down, down, down as you release both legs down to hover above the mat. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, release the right leg. Left leg draws long. Inhale, both legs up, sitting bones lift. Exhale, lower the left leg. Inhale, both legs up, sitting bones up high. Exhale, inner ankles connect and both legs lower at the same time. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, lower the right leg, left leg goes up and long. Inhale, both legs up, sitting bones lift. Exhale, lower the left leg, right leg up and long. Inhale, both legs lift, sitting bones up. Exhale, both legs lower to hover above the mat. Inhale to lift up. Last one. Right leg lowers, left leg reaches up and long. Navel keeps drawing in and in. Mid back stays rooted to the mat. Exhale, left leg lowers. Inhale, both legs up, sitting bones lift. Exhale, both legs lower to hover. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, both knees bend for a moment. Widen your feet about as much as the mat, arms come outwards, and then just gently sway the knees from side to side. We have one more round here, so this is just some relief in between to ease any of the burn, to move any stagnant energy. Our core is so integral for not only our yoga and our movement practice, but for good posture, for good breath, good digestion. And we are working to move into the deeper core line here rather than the superficial outer layer of the abdominals. Okay, preparing for last round here. Opposite interlace of hands behind the base of the skull. Thumbs rest down into the occipital ridge. Both legs come up. Think of active feet here, almost like you're pointing the toes, but then flexing the toes back. We like to call it floating. Inhale to lift shoulder blades off the mat. Exhale, lower the right leg, left leg reaches up and long. Inhale, right leg up, both sitting bones lift. Exhale, lower the left leg, right leg long. Navel draws in towards spine. Inhale, both legs up. Exhale, both legs lower, inner ankles stay connected here. Inhale, both legs up, sitting bones lift. Exhale, right leg lowers. Work with your breath. Inhale, both legs up, sitting bones lift. Exhale, left leg lowers. Inhale, both legs up. Exhale, both legs to lower. Don't let your belly bulge out. Inhale to lift. Another arm variation, if you feel like it makes it easier, is also to reach the arms forward. If that helps you to get more of a curl of the shoulder blades up off the mat. Exhale, right leg lowers, left leg long. Inhale, both legs up, sitting bones lift. Exhale, left leg lowers. Inhale, both legs up, sitting bones lift. Exhale, both legs to lower. Inhale, come all the way up. Sitting bones lift. And then last round here, right leg to lower. Really actively reach through both legs. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, left leg lowers. Inhale, both legs up, sitting bones lift. Exhale, both legs to lower and hover. Inhale to lift up. And exhale, bend both knees. Rest the back of the head onto the mat. Step your feet in this time close enough that your heels are quite close to the sitting bones. Maybe you can graze the backs of the heels with your hands or your fingertips. Moving through bridge pose to find a nice opening and stretch through the abdominals. On an inhale breath, start to root down through feet, and then start to curl up through the tailbone, the lower back, and mid back. To find yourself all the way up in bridge position. Bring your hands to interlace underneath your spine so you can tuck your shoulders under. Find a little bit more lift through the chest here. And then really just an opportunity to invite expansive belly breaths with your inhalations. Stretching out through the muscles and the digestive system. Even though you do not have a block between your thighs, can you imagine that you're squeezing one and allow that to draw the midline back into that center space rather than letting the knees sort of flare open. The top of the thighs reach long and down towards the bottom edge of the mat. The feet are rooted. See if you can lift the hip bones a little bit higher for 2 more breaths here. And then on your next exhale, release the interlace of the arms and start to peel the spine down one vertebrae at a time to come all the way down, sacrum to release last, and then just a moment in a neutral spine here. So we are preparing to make our way to Malasana squat. You have 2 options of how you'd like to get there. You can just roll through your side, bring yourself up to a seated, and then with the assist of your hands, find your squat. Maybe you're on the balls of the feet or maybe the heels down. Otherwise, if you'd like to rock and roll up to Malasana squat, your arms are stacked above your shoulders, your feet are as wide as your hips, and then start to rock forward and back. And on the 3rd time, trying to reach all the way up into your squat at the top of the mat. Hands connect in front of the heart. Again, you might be on the balls of the feet here. Your feet might be a little bit closer together or wider. I invite you to play around with that. See what works for your blueprint so that you can find your perfect shape today in this posture Malasana. Once your hands connect in front of your heart, you can root your elbows into your inner thighs and knees and use that to open the inner thighs a little bit more. And with that, create more length through the spine and the crown of the head. Nice deep breath. Feel that nice release through the lumbar spine. This is such a good posture for reversing the daily habit of long hours of sitting. One more deep breath here. And then exhale, forward fold. Start to extend through the legs and then toe heel the feet together to hip width distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, knees bent. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Extend through the spine, just like we did in the beginning. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then bring your toes to touch, heels slightly open. Prepare for Utkatasana. Inhale, send the sitting bones down and back. Lift up through the arms. Create space on your lower back. Soften your tailbone. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Now in an exhale breath, can you draw the arms back as you rise up onto the balls of both feet? Heart expands forward. One round of breath here. Inhale, Utkatasana, lower the heels, arms reach up. Exhale, flying Utkatasana, arms reach back, balls of both feet. Exhale, Utkatasana. Take a deep breath in here, try and expand more through the heart, and then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Find your chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 5 grounding breaths in your down dog. Choose whether you'd like to keep your dog in movement or in stillness. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Bend your knees as much as you need to find more height through the sitting bones. And as a result, more extension through the spinal column. Next, inhale to lift the gaze, and then just lower the knees down. Come all the way, sitting bones onto your heels. Okay. So, if you have a block, this is where you can bring it into the mix. If not, it's not a problem. We can do without it as well. Working on building some strength through the upper body. Just 2 rounds here. So from your kneeling position, I invite you to bring your elbows down onto the mat and then grip your hands around your upper arms. And this is really just to measure how far apart you want your elbows to be. Then keeping the elbows as they are, release the hands to the top of the mat. Now, if you do not have a block, you'll be interlacing your hands to root down through the outer palms into the mat. If you have a block and you'd like to work with that instead, elbows stay exactly where they were as you measured, distance between the upper arms. And now you are squeezing the outer edges of the block with the palms of the hands. So we're not wrapping the fingers around, it's just a squeeze with the palm. Before we move up into our dolphin pose, I just want to remind you that it's very important for this. The elbows are going to want to splay open as you start to grow tired through the arms. Really, the challenge here is to keep squeezing them into the midline and rooting down through the forearms. So finding that position of the arms and then coming up into downward dog on the forearms. Walk your feet in as close as you can to stack your shoulders over your elbows. Squeeze the block with your hands, your palms Or if your hands are interlaced, root down through the outer edges of your hands into the mat. And as you do this, feel like your chest wants to lift away from the earth. And your head is completely heavy and released here. So not trying to gaze forward and crunching through the back of the neck. Let the head hang heavy. But at the same breath, your heart wants to lift forward to expand through that frontal body. Keep breathing here. Remember, you are stronger than you think. Often the mind is filled with thoughts of anticipation and suffering and I'm in pain. Can you let all of that dissipate and keep focusing on your breath? For another 5, 4, push the earth away with the forearms, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down, take a child's pose. Soften your forehead to the mat, and then let your arms reach back to the feet so the shoulders can hang nice and heavy. Expand with breath into the back of the heart, your shoulder blades, the side ribs. Nice deep breaths. We have one more round. Gently come back up, stack head over heart. And now moving into the second round. So this one's going to be different. If you have a block, you're going to be squeezing the block in between both index fingers and thumbs, like this. Otherwise, working to do that without the block. So again, what we'll do is measure distance of the elbows by wrapping the hands around the upper arms, and then keeping the elbows exactly as they are, release the hands forward. So it's a nice long line. Elbow and wrist are one long line. So we're not doing anything funny with the hands and the wrist bones. So the challenge for this one is that the inner wrists are going to want to lift and curl off the mat. And we really want to try and focus on drawing down through the inner wrists with a lot of emphasis through the index finger and the thumbs. So choose whether you are doing this with or without a block. On an inhale, lifting up into dolphin pose. Okay, you have options here. Maybe you are staying exactly as you are. Again, just focusing on rooting down through inner wrists, pushing the earth away with the forearms as you lift the chest. Maybe you are lifting one leg at a time. And as you lift one leg, you come onto the ball of the opposite foot, holding it here, breathing. Or maybe if it's in your practice, you want to see if you can do some bunny hops, maybe lifting all the way up into Pinchamayurasana, if that is already in your practice. If you are lifting one leg at a time, make sure that you are lifting both legs. So if you've lifted the right leg, you can drop that down and then lift up through the left leg. Come onto the ball of the opposite foot. Keep curling the heart forward, but letting the neck and the head be soft. For another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet down. Bend both knees. And then just come into a kneeling position. Well done, guys. Well done. This is where your strap comes in handy, or your scarf, or your belt. We're going to release the shoulders. If this kneeling position is not comfortable for you, you can always sit in cross-legged position. Take the strap nice and wide. You can adjust it as you go, but rather start wider than too tight. Also, if you have shoulder injuries, just be very mindful of that. We're going to move through 4 rotations And I don't want you to push further than what your shoulder mobility actually wants you to go. So just listen to that. And if this is where your rotation ends, then that's exactly where you will go to. And just holding it there at our sort of limit will already do a lot for opening it, even though we're not going all the way. So we'll start with the strap on the thighs. I'm a little bit out of breath here, so excuse any very heavy breathing and panting. On an inhale, lifting up through the arms, and exhale, reaching all the way back or to your full capacity. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, release. A nice release through the shoulders after that, at the body strengthening. And being super mindful again to move with your breath. In the end, your breath is what creates relief and ease in each shape. Often when we are holding the breath, we're creating a lot of energetic stagnation in the body. And it really amplifies all of the discomfort that we might be feeling. And it might even make, well, it is also tensing up through the body. So instead of finding that relief, we're creating more and more resistance internally and externally, and then it all seems quite challenging. So really, whenever you do return to your mat for your practice, whatever movement practice it is, I'd like to remind you that the breath is first and foremost the very top of the list important thing, our most important tool. And finish up your last rotation to release the strap onto your thighs. Release strap out to the side. Remove the block. And then find downward facing dog. A last little flow on each side before we cool down. So we're going to take the flow that we did in the beginning of the mat or beginning of the class and make a few modifications here. On an inhale, lift the gaze up to the hands. Exhale, feet walk to meet hands, forward fold. Inhale, it's Utkatasana, so set up your feet. And when you're ready, the arms reach up. Now shift all of the weight into your left foot, and without the use of your hands, exhale, hug that right thigh in and up. See, how high can I draw that thigh without the assist of my hands? Exhale to find your twist. Maybe that knee again releases in line with the hip, or maybe grabbing out of the right foot with your left hand, and then extend the right leg forward. The right arm reaches back. Find your twist here. One full round of breath. Exhale, figure of four. Cross the right ankle over the top left thigh. Hands to heart. Sink down nice and low. Soften shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, it's a low flying warrior. That right leg extends back behind, and then gently the fingertips release to the earth. Inhale, find length through the spine. Exhale to curl that right knee towards forehead, forehead towards knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale to curl. Inhale to extend. Exhale, step all the way back for low lunge. And then right hand releases to the inside of the left foot, left arm circles back and up, find your easy twist. Okay, so a little add on here. Just take through the right hand. You want to make sure that there's a slight external rotation through the hand, and maybe you want to step that right hand out a little bit more to the outer edge of the mat. Preparing to step to side plank, Vashisthasana. Rotate onto the outer edge of that right foot. Start to lift up through the left foot and find your plank, side plank here. Maybe that leg stays lifted, Maybe it stacks on top of the bottom foot. Wherever you are now, lifting up again through that left foot, bend the knee, and then step it again to the top of the mat for low lunge. Inhale, lift belly and heart or front thigh. Exhale, straighten the front leg, step the back foot in enough, ground down through both feet. Vajrasana. The outer left hip draws back. Outer right hip draws forward. Both feet are grounded. Inhale, it's a softening through the front knee. And then preparing for twisted triangle pose. So maybe your right hand will release to the inside of the left foot. Maybe it will release to the outer left foot. Choose your placement. Find full extension on that right arm. Grounded through both feet. And then on an inhale, draw the left arm back and up. Find your twist. Now really here focus on drawing the outer left hip back and the outer right hip forward. Navel draws in and up. Both feet grounded. Spine grows longer with each inhale. Exhale, circle left arm back and down. And then inhale, it's a standing split. Right leg reaches up back behind. Fold over that standing left leg. Option, if you're feeling a bit playful, maybe you'll stay exactly as you are. Or maybe find two switch kicks. The hands reach forward, you rise up onto the ball of that left foot, the hands are grounded, the arms active, and then kicking up one leg, and then switch again. Now keep that right leg lifted. Wherever you are, maybe you're still in standing split. Bend the right knee, hug the thigh and leg all the way forward and through. Just like we did to get into the flow to start with. Exhale, both feet down, hands to heart. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Last side. Set up your feet, Utkatasana. Inhale, arms reach up. Shift all the way into your right foot. Hug that left thigh up and in without assist of your hands. See how high can I squeeze the thigh in and up. And then find your twist. Maybe that knee again drops in line with the hip. Hand to outer thigh and base of spine. Or right hand connects to outer blade of left foot. Extend leg forward and left arm reaches back behind. Growing tall through the crown of the head. Nice long active standing leg. Navel draws in and up. Exhale, it's figure of four. Cross the outer left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Hands connect in front of heart. Left foot is active. Inhale, it's a low flying warrior. That left leg extends back behind. And then slowly release fingertips to the mat. Standing leg is bent as much as you need. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale, curl the knee towards the forehead. Inhale to extend. Lower belly lifts all the way up to the heart. Exhale, curl knee towards forehead. Inhale to extend. Exhale, step back to low lunge. Left hand connects to the earth to the inner right foot. That right arm circles back and up. Find your easy twist. Now again, just take a quick little glance down at your left hand. Create a little bit more external rotation and maybe place the hand a little bit closer to the outer edge of the mat. Preparing for Vashisthasana side plank. Start to rotate onto the outer blade of your left foot. That right foot grows lighter as you move into your variation of Vashisthasana. Maybe legs are stacked or the right leg stays lifted. And then wherever you are, again, lifting up the right leg, bend the knee, step it forward, low lunge, top of the mat. Both hands down, inhale, breath here. Exhale, straighten the front leg, step back foot in enough. Parsvottanasana, both feet are grounded. Your outer right hip draws back. Outer left hip draws forward. A slight micro bend in that front knee. Nice long spine to fold over that front right thigh. Inhale, softening through that front right knee and preparing for twisted triangle. So again, your hand will either be placed to the inner right foot, firmly rooted into the mat, or to the outer right foot. Choose your placement. Find grounding through that hand and extension through the arm. And then inhale, draw the right arm back and up. Find your twisted triangle pose here. Now really focus on drawing the outer right hip back, the outer left hip forward. The spine draws long. Feet firmly grounded here. Work with your breath. Those right ribs are peeling up as the left ribs wrap under and through. Exhale, circle the right arm back and down. Inhale, it's standing split. Your right arm wraps along the back line of the right leg. Right hand to top of the mat. And again, staying here if you did on the other side, or if you're feeling playful, switch kicks. Hands rock forward, rise up into the balls of the feet. Nice strong arms, just you're pushing the earth away with the hands. And then find a switch kick. And come all the way down. Keep that left leg bent and lifted all the way up into one-legged Tadasana. And exhale, release. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Two more like that. Full focus on deep, expansive breath. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, come all the way down through the sitting bones. Just keep sending the sitting bones down towards the mat. Extend the legs forward from here for Paschimottanasana. So I had a whole other section planned, but we've run out of time. So we'll move into some cool down stretches and then Shavasana. Take a nice deep breath in Paschimottanasana. And exhale, forward fold. Now, if you want to use your strap here, you can do so by strapping the balls of both feet. Already, you're actively lengthening through both heels, drawing all 10 toes back towards your shin bones. And you're using the assist of your arms, but you're not using them by shrugging the shoulders up to your ears and desperately trying to cling with your arms. There's a bend in your elbows. The heart lengthens and reaches forward, and then the torso folds with ease. Bring some length through the back of the neck. Stay active through the feet, but you can bend your knees. So also just staying mindful if you feel like it's pulling quite aggressively on your lower back by extending the legs straight and folding forward, then soften the knees. So modify, listen to your body. Take 3 more full rounds of breath here. Nice, slow, steady breath, starting to slow down the heart rate. And then exhale to release. You can soften the feet, soften the spine, and then from here take a seated spine roll all the way up to stack the head over the heart. The strap comes out to the side. You can release your body all the way back onto the mat. And once you get there, hug both thighs in towards your chest. Release right hand to right knee, left hand to left knee. And then keeping the inner thighs and knees connected, draw one big circle in a clockwise direction to massage the lower back, the kidneys, the sacrum. Slowly finish up this round in clockwise direction and then move into the opposite direction. And gently rest back in center. Both thighs hug in, arms hug around your shin bones. And happy baby, feel the arms draw in between your thighs for the outer blades of the feet. Then lift the soles of the feet up to the sky. Notice that in happy baby, there could be a tendency to lift and curl the tailbone and the sacrum off the mat. I invite you to keep grounding and rooting down through this area as you actively flex through the ankles. Draw the shoulder blades down the spine. Soften chin towards chest. And the knees draw towards the outer ribs all the way down to the armpits. Nice deep belly breaths as you expand your navel to the inner thighs. And on an exhale, release the soles of the feet and finally expand into Shavasana. Take a few moments to get up in to get yourself set up in Shavasana. So if you would like to get some socks or a jersey, maybe to dim the lights, take these few moments to really set yourself up so that you can fully relax and release in Shavasana. Allow the hips to soften as the feet rotate outwards. The palms of the hands face up to the sky, so the fingers gently curl in towards the palms. Your chin softens towards your chest to restore length through the back of the neck. The back of the heart is fully released and supported by the earth below. And then all that focus, all that attention draws deeper inwards to notice the organic rhythm of your breath. Gently and effortlessly, the breath moves in and out. Absolutely no place to be, nothing to do here. Allow your body to become so heavy that there's a sense of weightlessness, as you need not exert any effort, just simply a full release. Notice that the mind might wander, and that's okay. The point is not to try and control your thoughts, but to not let them control you. They're always going to show up. Can you acknowledge them and then let them go? And very gently start to bring some movement back through the fingers and the toes. And choose your preferred side to roll onto your left or right side and take a moment in fetal position. And then from fetal position, gently guide yourself back up to a seat at the top of the mat, still keeping the eyes closed or a gentle gaze. Root to rise from the sitting bones all the way up to the crown of the head. And then connecting hands in front of the forehead. And bowing down in reverence to our vessels, our bodies that carry us through this lifetime, our breath, and the beating of our heart. Namaste.
Thank you guys so much for joining me for this practice. I invite any feedback or any thoughts, any ideas, and in general, I'm just really grateful to be able to share what I love. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.